All right. We are live. Hello, everyone, and thank you. Thank you all for being here. This is awesome. So in the chat, real quick, I just want to say hi to a couple people. But first, Jason, Scott, you guys all know who they are. They are the reason that I'm able to do this. So thank you guys both for this opportunity. So just to say hi to a couple people here really quick. Cameron Lochner in the house. What's up, Cam? Top Dog. Bourbon of the Week. Cheers. What's we got here? Brett Marquardt. Got Get Strunk. Ben Hernandez is in the house. Blind Squirrel. Matt Drennan. JG. Whiskey Cheers. Blind Squirrel is in the house. Tim Corney is in the house. Doug H. Cheers. What else we got in here? 21090. Let's drink some Sagamore. That's right. Let's drink some Sagamore.
Screw that bald guy.
Mike Myers in the house. Cheers, Mike. Eric Desmaris. Cheers, buddy. Roy R. does things. Hey. Of course, the Mash and Drum is in the house. Scott is in the house. My Bourbon Journey. Great to see everyone, guys. So TCT, love that rye. Agree. Completely agree. So yeah, guys. So I was able to partner with Shared Pour and Sagamore. Made the recommendation that I go with Sagamore, something local, for my very first pick. So yeah, they sent us 4 different barrels that we're going to be sampling through tonight. I know for a fact that none of these are sister barrels. So they did come from different parts of their warehouse, from what I was told. So I'm not sure if Brian's going to drop in the chat or not tonight, but I from what I know, these are like no sister barrels in here.
Brian's always lurking around in there somewhere.
Yes, he is. Yeah, he said he was out to dinner tonight, so there's a chance he might come on.
Are these in terms of the ages, like for the high rye fill dates and the low rye? Like, are we still talking about like almost 7 and 8 year old rye?
Yeah, because I believe it's 2000. I think the two numbers are like 14 is for the year.
Yeah, I mean, if those are barrel fill dates, then yeah, I mean we're talking about 7, almost 8 year old ryes.
Yeah.
Jeez. All right. Man.
Yeah, I mean that's my understanding of it is when I saw that 14 next to each one of those, that was the year. So
might have to bust out the 3 Sagamigos just to test it next to
side by side. That's a hard one to compete with, man. Dan Harris in the house. Cheers. Bourbon's bourbon. Let's get dusty. Let's do it, baby. Joe Wanager's in the house. Joe, how are you? Trev Kunkel. Cheers to 3 Amigos. That's right. It's crazy to think that we did the 3 Amigos and now we're back doing another Sagamore. That's awesome, man.
Yeah. We're in much better condition now.
Just less roofy.
Well, at least Scott and I are in better condition. You were fine.
I was fine up until lunchtime, and then then I was gonna like pass out at lunch. Then when I got to the airport, you had to delay. So whatever would happen to you guys, mine was just delayed a couple hours.
Yeah, you had the delayed. Yeah, you had the delayed one. I mean, as much as Dan and I felt bad, we show up in the morning to like eat breakfast, and Jason's got this huge freaking bowl of like oatmeal. I'm like, this is got to be the worst looking thing ever right now. Like. It was so bad.
What's the matter, guys? This is delicious.
Yeah, that was a rough morning, man. Scott and I are like, "Where's the bathroom? Where's the bathroom?"
Oh my god!
Yeah. Robert Shea's in the house. Hello, sir. How are you? Great to see you in here. These are 3 great pallets at work tonight. Indeed. At least I think so. And so does Robert. So real quick, guys. I am going to do a giveaway tonight. I have a couple things that I want to do. So I do want to give away a sample pack of the barrels that we actually taste through. So we'll do a sample pack of those. And then I'm going to give away a sample of it's in a Wild Turkey bottle, but this is a 1970 Old Fitzgerald that I poured in here. Stitzelweller, an outstanding pour. here. So I'm gonna do a sample of that tonight, maybe 2, and then I'm gonna do a sample or 2 of the Kentucky Tavern, the Captain's Court. I actually just cracked this open and tried some the other night, and it's glorious.
That's
Glenmore distilled.
That's worthy of a $5 super chat for.
I would say so. Yeah,
probably a $20 super chat, to be honest.
So for each $5 super chat, that'll enter you in one chance to win some of those samples. So, you got some in here already. JG with the $5 super chat. Cheers. Thank you, JG.
Send me those Dusties.
Yeah. Top Dog with a $10 super chat. Cheers, Top Dog. Thank you.
The boss is coming in hot and heavy. Here we go.
It's the Turk. We got a Turk in the house.
Oh, boy.
Katie Turk, what's going on? Great to see you. Thank you for the super chat.
It's a party now.
Yes, it is. Katie Turk, thank you. So cheers to your first barrel pick and hope we can snag one. Can't wait to see what you pick, the Turks. Thank you, guys. Much appreciated. Robert Shea says, I'm drinking some Woodinville, the Iceman tonight. What's everyone else got in their glass? Yeah, what's everybody else drinking, guys? I'd be interested to see. Actually, I killed the bottle of the 2018 Old Forester birthday bourbon. So that's the end of it right there. I had it sitting in the middle there.
2018?
Yeah.
That was the last good one.
That was the last good one. Yeah. I mean, I had so much air in that bottle that if I waited any longer, it probably wouldn't have been good anymore. So.
You know what? The 2019 was a pretty damn good bottle too, but the 2018 was probably the last one that like really impressed me.
Yeah.
Because I think the 2019 still had some age to it, right?
Yes.
The 2019, had some age, but it was like this candy bomb. I remember just being really sweet and really enjoyable. People loved it. The 20 was kind of a down year. It kind of went like on this tropical like coconut path, which I know a lot of people didn't dig. Last year's I thought was a solid batch too. And then this year's, you guys know my feelings on this year's. So
Doug H with the $10 super chat. Doug, thank you very much. Much appreciated. Cam Lochner. Cheers to Dusty's first barrel pick. Cheers, Cam. Thank you, sir.
Who's keeping track of all these super chats?
I'm writing them down right now because I don't think there's a mod in here right now. So
you're right.
I don't see a mod yet. Anyway,
it's the worst trying to like host the live stream. And
it's all right.
You should have waited till we were done tasting through these before you're like, I'm giving away all this shit.
I know. Mistake, man. That's a rookie mistake. Line Squirrel, cheers. Thank you for the super chat. Love to try those. Pick a good one, guys. I'll buy one. Cheers. There'll be plenty available, I'm sure. So, John Kranz is in the house. Cheer, John.
What's up, Johnny?
Tim Cornet with the $10 super chat. Tim, thank you very much. Tim's gotten lucky a couple of these last times. Tim, I know JG has, the Turks. They've all been pretty lucky winning some of this stuff.
The Turks, they're always lucky.
The Turks, the Turk, Katie and Ethan, they got like the voodoo. They got the voodoo out there. They're pretty lucky.
They win even when they don't enter.
Yeah. God, Bourbon says just water here. Fucking COVID. Ah, man. Hope you get better, buddy.
Oh, that sucks, man.
Yeah, it does suck.
Roger Randall says Barrel King, Honey Barrel Rye.
Ooh, Barrel King.
I think I've got one of those.
You got a Honey Barrel Rye?
Yeah.
Or are you just saying you have a Barrel King in general?
I have a Barrel King, a Honey Barrel Rye.
Dan Harris says drinking beer tonight. Calusa Barrel Aged S'mores Stout. There you go, Jason.
Right here.
S'mores Stout. Hunkering down from the hurricane. And yeah, man, be safe out there.
Oh, geez. That thing's like ramping right up. It's like high, like category 4 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to check on my family here in Florida.
Mark Mace. What's going on? Lux 7 Holiday Toast, Double Oast. I heard that was actually really good. The Holiday Toast. Did one of you guys have that?
I've got it.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It's a nice toasted bourbon.
Ben Hernandez with the $10 super chat. Ben, thank you very much. you are entered in to win as well. Oh, Cam says, sipping on a Middle West Cast Strength Collection store pick. Dan, I'm telling you, man, like that cast strength version of that Middle West, that sherry cask is freaking unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Like their regular pour, the 97 proof, I think it was, of the double cask collection was good. And I can't believe how good that cast strength version is at 116 proof. It blew me away.
Why don't you reach out to them? They're right there in your neck of the woods.
Who's that?
Jason.
Yeah. They are right in Ohio.
Yeah, I did a pick with them already, and it's just kind of sitting in a warehouse. I got to do something.
Oh.
Does Dan have any mods? Not on right now. I don't, man. I don't have any actually.
Unless someone wants to be one, and then you can make them a mod.
I forget how to do that on here.
Just click the 3 dots on them in the chat and just make them a moderator. That's all you got to do.
Okay. Tim Gargish is in the house. Tim, cheers. Jeffrey Wack is in the house. Cheers, Jeffrey. Good to see you. Katie Turk says, cheers. Lurking a bit. Heading out for a month tomorrow. Damn. We'll be in your neck of the woods towards the middle to end of October, Dusty. Oh, nice.
Oh, there you go.
We're going to meet up, Turks. We're going to do it. Maybe we go to Sagamore.
Hey, Brett says he'll be a mod if you make him a mod.
All right. I don't see any dots next to anybody's name though. Do I gotta do it on the phone?
Yeah.
No, you can do it. You can do it.
I don't think
you just gotta scroll over the person's name in the chat, dude, on YouTube.
Oh yeah. I can't.
I got you. I see. Okay.
Yeah, I can't make. Yeah, that's probably why it's not on my end. I'm used to.
Actually, I can't. It only gives me the option to put them in timeout or block.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, put user in timeout or block user. That's all I can do.
Are you signed in as you're like your?
Yeah.
All right, no, I don't know what to tell you, man. Your shit's broken.
Oh, hold on. No, I got it now. I got it.
Yeah, you can definitely do it on your phone.
All right, so I just got Brett in there. So I don't want to miss the super chat. Get Strong, the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Much appreciated. Thank you. Whiskey Nose, Marty is in the house.
What's up, brother?
JG says, Jason C, is your internet okay?
Right now it is.
I'm seeing you fine.
Yeah, my internet looks like I was on the Dungeons and Dragons live stream last night, and my internet just like it
messed up.
Luckily, I have like backup network, so it just the one I was on just dropped, and then then it automatically switched. So,
well, sounds like you got my syndrome.
EJ's in the house. Aloha. Cheers. Ian Knapp with the $10 super chat says, sipping on the 3 Sagamigos tonight. If these samples are anything close to this, pick that sample. We'll see. Maybe I
don't remember. I don't remember if ours were this age though. I don't think they were. But actually, you know what? I think they probably were.
Yeah, ours was a little over 7 years old.
Yeah. Okay. I was thinking back. So, man, I wish I had that one.
Yeah, ours were about this. Maybe this one might be a full. This one's full 8. I know he waited for a new tag for us because it was 7 years or older our picks. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because we have. Did we have an 8 on ours? I think.
Was it an 8 or a 7? I don't remember.
I thought it was an 8, but let me see.
I don't have one in this room. I have one in the other room.
Let's see if my whiskey assistant can help me out with that.
I'm gonna go look.
Tim Gargis with the $10 super chat. Thank you, Tim. Much appreciated.
All right, my assistant
Adam Henson's in the house. Hey, what's up, Adam? Good to see you.
My assistant didn't like that I called her my assistant. My wife.
Yeah, it says age 7 years on there.
Oh, 7. Okay. All right.
Tim Swope says, I am in for samples. I dropped my bottle of Sagamore cognac. Bottle tile floors are not nice to this glass, so I need to fill a new hole in the shelf. Man, that's shitty. But thank you for the super chat, Tim. Much appreciated. Dusty not a mod on his own channel? Yeah, but I'll find somebody on here. I thought I picked Brett.
You did pick Brett. Is he blue on your end?
Yeah, he is now. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
Katie's a mod.
Okay, yeah, Katie's in there. Okay, all right, cool. We're good.
Yeah, Brett's a mod. There you go.
Thank you, Brett.
Katie's packing, so she can't do it. But
Peter White's in the house. Peter, always nice to see you. Always nice to see you. Johnny 5 is in the house.
Johnny 5. Oh. I'm cheating because, oh my God,
7% watching. So everyone hit that like button. Yes,
yeah,
please.
I think we're gonna have to do another one of these soon, but just a finish, get a finish on
nice, man. Scott's 4-gate old Carter collection multiplies every time I see him. That's an impressive collection behind you, Scotty.
I know it is. It is a lot. It is a lot.
So you guys want to go ahead and get into these picks or what?
Hell yeah!
All right, let's do it, man. So we're So again, we have 4 different samples here. Again, from what I understand, none of them are sister barrels. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I guess with this is sample 80-14,
and these are blends of high and low rye.
Yeah, it's a blend of high and low rye.
I'm guessing some of their distillate and probably some MGP.
Yeah, the high rye fill date is 8/22 of 2014. And the low rye fill date was December 22nd of 14.
Their stuff just smells so like rich and delicious.
Yeah, man.
You know,
are you just smelling 80 right now? Because wait till you smell 94.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just smelling.
Hell.
Yeah, it just. I mean, it just smells like. I mean, there's a lot of like. I'm getting a little bit of like a baked apple pie, like the cinnamon. Like that
a lot of cinnamon on this one.
Yeah, a lot of cinnamon.
I get like this. It's not like a molasses, but like
definitely like some brown sugar.
Yeah, I was gonna say some like burnt brown sugar.
Yeah,
maybe further in there.
Yeah,
oh, man.
It's
like minty creme brulee. It's kind of
nice. I can see there is some really nice mint. It's a little bit of a mint and. Are you guys picking up like a slight dill? A little bit?
That's a little bit. Yeah. I knew you were going to say that too.
Yeah.
I just started to pick that up a little bit.
It's not, I mean, it's not to the point where it's like off-putting to me. Like when I get it real heavy, it's just not my thing, but.
Hey, dilly.
PCT with the $5 super chat. Thank you very much. Much appreciated.
Just smells right.
You're in it to win it, buddy. In it to win it.
Maybe even like a little bit of pine too, like some spruce or something.
It's very
it's getting more.
It's like a Christmassy.
Yeah, Christmas.
Or Christmas. It's total. Yeah, it's like that orange tree
spice cake.
Yeah,
spice.
Like
cake.
I could picture like laying in front of the fire like on a bearskin rug, listening to some smooth jazz.
Smooth.
What do you guys think of that? What do you guys think of that?
Did you like that? Canadians.
Did you like that image? Did you like the image I just painted for everyone?
Yeah, that was a good one.
Canadians don't listen to smooth.
Got 60 people in the chat, guys. Cheers. Thank you.
I should have been. Awesome. I should have been more like definitive. Like it's probably going to be more of like a moose skin rug.
Damn, Dusty has 60-something people in here. Shit.
Yeah.
Good job.
People want your pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Well, it's a big thanks to you guys for posting that. I mean, that's where it comes from. So.
I hope I was gonna say, I hope the palate matches the nose on this.
Yeah, let's just get into it. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys. Yeah, the palate is all rye on the palate.
Yeah. Ooh, what? That's got a little that gave you a little pucker.
That is black pepper. Yep. Someone poured black pepper on my Christmas tree, gave me an orange peel.
Yeah,
and put a little vanilla cream on top.
Yeah, there's some orange on that one for sure. A lot of orange, rye spice.
Yeah, for sure. I could totally see that.
It's funny though is that I don't get a lot of that that like Christmassy influence so much on the palate. I mean, a little like I said, that orange. Maybe a little bit of that like spice cake.
But that cinnamon spice cake, I'm not really getting as much on the palate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does have it's a pretty nice finish though. It's still kind of lingering on.
Yeah. It drinks warm. Now this is my first pour, but I don't know about
the finish is winter chicken dinner. I love the finish on that.
Yeah, I mean it just kind of lingers and lingers and lingers.
It's just, yeah, it's almost like bubbly, effervescent. It just kind of tingles.
It is kind of like a nice burnt orange on that with some really nice rye spice. Man, shit, that's good.
And like you don't get that dill, like a little bit of dill that it was on the nose.
Yeah, none on the palate at all.
Yep.
Man, that's pretty nice. That's really nice lingering spice. That's a nice long finish with really some nice spice to it.
Blind Squirrel says smooth jazz, Scott on a bear rug. I smell a sticker being created.
No, there's no more stickers of me coming for a while. We're gonna we're putting a pause on the stickers of the old Hawkster here. So. It's time for Jay to get his freaking mug on some of those stickers.
Yeah, man.
My whatchamacallit, my New York Mets sticker will be on one of them soon.
Yeah. Yep. My Orioles are still kind of in it, man. They're in the hunt, but we'll see. We gotta basically almost win out in order to get in, but
yeah. Oh.
JG says 60 people in the chat, 45 just left. Keep hot clothed.
Jeez.
Brett said, Mash and Drum, you are looking a bit pixelated.
Yeah, but all of a sudden it fixed itself. I think because I was uploading a video. So
gotcha.
Yeah, I'm about. You'll see me tonight. I know it's a little bit late, but I have an early flight tomorrow.
Oh, there he goes.
I'll be dropping a video tonight for the Remus 6.
Oh, nice.
Well, he might be back.
You guys want to move on? You want to keep on this one? You want to move on to sample 94?
Yeah, we can move on.
All right, let's do it. Sample 94.
Is 94 darker than the others? Or am I just?
And no, it definitely looks it.
Dude, wait till you smell 94. Holy hell.
Yeah, that's so different. Yeah, that's very, very different.
Oh man,
it smells like it's just rich and dense.
It smells like a Thomas H. Handy.
Yeah, it almost has that vibe to it. Yeah, like outside of that dill that you get from some of that Handy. So what was it? I just had a sample of what was it? A 20? Was it the 2020 Handy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a 2020. Had a little bit of dill presence to it, but it just smelled like it was like creamy and dense.
Yeah, that's what this is. It's rich and thick.
Yeah, you don't get any of that like Christmassy rye spice or anything on here.
No, this is almost. I mean, it's almost nosing like a bourbon kind of.
It's sweet. It's very sweet profile.
Very sweet for rye.
Yeah, brown sugars, candied.
Yeah, I think there's like even some nice kind of like some chocolate notes.
I'm just getting straight up pecan pie in that glass. Wow.
Yeah, I can see the pie crust. I can see that for sure.
It's like pie crust. There's a slight nuttiness to it.
Scott Pigsley with a $5 super chat. Cheers, Scott. Thank you.
Like molasses too, man.
Yeah, there is definitely a little bit of molasses present with that, like that brown sugar sweetness in there.
Yeah, it's molasses.
Yeah, that's very, very different. You know, I do get a little bit of orange on this one though too. Like further into the glass, I do pick up a little bit of orange. Some of that citrus is present.
Yeah, that's a nice like rich pour. There's some nice depth to that for sure.
Get into this one, guys. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, why the fuck are the Mets losing like right now? What the fuck? Sorry, guys. Come on, don't lose to the freaking Marlins going into the series.
Oh, that is a palate coating whiskey right there, man. That's from front to back. Pretty viscous, sticks on the palate, the sides of the cheeks, the soft palate.
Yeah, that's good. Damn. Yeah, it's really good.
Rich caramels, nice kind of like rye spice, a little bit of orange.
No, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, the blend can be a little bit different. Some of the mash bills, but more they're consistent. Their core range is usually pretty consistent with the blend. So it's a blend of low rye and high rye.
AW says, I like the Remus 6 sample I tried last week. Nothing like 5. Easy drinking with fall fruits, a little bit of spice.
Yeah, I actually agree. It's actually the youngest blend that they put out so far. So
yeah.
You know how you were saying you got a little bit of like pecan on the nose. I get a little bit of nuttiness on the back, like the back of the palate and into the finish on this one.
Yeah, I think the nuttiness comes back a little bit.
Yeah,
Man,
I would agree.
It's so pecan pie for me. It's really, really nice.
Yeah, it really.
Darrell Stewart is in the house. A little late to the party, but cheers, fellas! Congrats on the first barrel pick. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Yes.
Braves. Jeffrey Wax says the mash bill consistent across Sagamore's barrels. I thought they mixed 2 different rye mash bills. Not sure it's the same. Yeah, they have a low rye and a high rye.
Yeah, they're two blended mash bills for sure.
Oh, Big Vic is in the house. Cheers, Big Vic. Good to see you.
Big Vic, always.
Colt 45 is in the house as well. Got me down for one. It's right after you volunteered. Man, that 94. That's pretty good.
It's a Butte, Clark. It's a Butte.
Yeah, there's definitely like after drinking it and then going back and going into the nose, you do start to get more of that nuttiness in there. But it's still like there's not a ton of rye spice on the nose. It's like very like rich caramel, vanilla.
For me, orange. For me, more of the rye shows up on the finish part of it. Like I think you get a lot of that sweetness, the richness up front, and then as that finish begins to develop, more of that lingering like black pepper, nice rye spice kind of hits like right on the back.
I totally agree, Scott. See, sometimes you are right.
Julie, did you hear that?
I mean, seriously, that's the exact experience I got. All that pecan pie, molasses, almost like a burnt caramel, all up front, works its way back, rye spice, a little bit of mint, the black pepper, a little bit of the nuttiness, and then the finish just kind of lingers. It's such a nice contrast.
That's a nice one.
I would agree with all of that. I think this is like the kind of like rye whiskey that a lot of people who maybe don't like rye whiskey would enjoy. Like I think you could drink this as just as a really nice like rye whiskey without necessarily even drinking it like it was a rye whiskey.
Right? Yeah. It's almost like a bourbon drinker's rye, if you will. I mean, that's, a lot of sweetness, and, there's still that spice factor in there, but that's a nice one. I really like that one.
Yeah, that really is.
EJ from MA, pecan pie is my favorite for the holidays. I vote for that one. Cheers, guys. Yeah.
Yeah. This is the pecan pie right here, baby.
Yeah. I'll destroy a pecan pie.
Woo.
That sounds good right now.
All right, so 94 so far. That's
Whiskey Food Dude. Thank you, man, for the super chat. Much appreciated. Cheers.
That's my shit right there. Oof.
94 is a good one. They're both. I mean, they're both good, but I mean, I think in terms of like the overall richness and depth and complexity, 94's got it for sure so far.
Yeah, that's a good one. That definitely beats out the first one for sure. And then not that the first one was bad, it's just a different experience.
So just completely different.
Oh yeah, it's definitely. I mean, it's kind of the nice contrast you get between that you get with Sagamore. I mean, it's either going to be sometimes you get rye forward, sometimes you get a little more sweet, and sometimes you get a nice balance of both. I think this is definitely falls in the great balance of both.
Yeah, I agree.
This could be any whiskey drinkers.
Yeah, it's crazy though. Like just like for me, like the mouthfeel from that one compared to 80 is just like night and day difference. I mean, that 94 just coats everything like on the palate. Popham is in the house. Popham and Pick'em. What's up, boys? What's up, buddy?
Yeah,
good to see you.
Troy's birthday today.
Is it?
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Troy.
It's Troy's birthday? Damn.
Joe Wanninger with the $10 super chat. Say forward half of this AOL so Jason can upgrade to 56.6K.
AOL. AOL.
Yeah, I have my budget set up right now going on, guys.
56.6K.
Okay.
Yeah.
Big Vic hit the thumbs up. Cheers, buddy. Thank you.
God, I can't stop.
Todd D with the $20 super chat, man. Cheers, guys. Excited for the Sagamore pick. Sipping on some sherry finished Sagamore. Did they release that at the distillery?
Yeah, that's out, man. I got
Is it out?
Yeah, it's out. Yep.
I know talking with Brian, I think he was going to send out some samples because I reviewed that. I was a fan of it. But I know he was talking about sending some samples out. But yeah, I need to stop in there and get one before they're gone.
Oh, dude, I do want to mention real quick that I don't know if anybody heard, but Kelsey Dime Darrell Stewart,
Yeah,
and Mr. Jeffrey Wack are launching a new channel. I think, is it tomorrow? You guys are launching it?
I think it is tomorrow.
Yeah, YouTube launch.
Yep.
Yep. What is it? I think it's called Cheers Whiskey Friends.
Yes, I believe that is correct.
Yes, Alonso hits a 3-run homer. We're right back in it. Screw you.
There we go. Jeffrey Wag, looking forward to the YouTube launch. Good luck, man. Yeah, absolutely. That's going to be awesome. Adam Henson says, about to go pour my SAG Club pick I have so I can join the fun. Hell yeah.
There you go, Adam. All right, so we move on to 115.
Let's do it, man. 115.
All right, let's see what we got.
I still get some nuttiness from that 94 on the back. It's
94 is just, it's going to be a tough one to beat.
Damn,
and right
man.
now, 115 off the bat on the nose does not have what it takes, but we'll see what happens.
It's still kind of
sweet. It's sweet, man. It's like very like vanilla forward.
Yeah,
like,
this isn't like dark sweet. This is like
candied,
like candy shop sweet.
Yeah.
It's all there's almost like a little bit of like an Andes candy or something on that one.
I'm getting like
now that you say that, there is like an Andes candy. Some of that mint, a little bit of like little bit of some chocolate. Not a lot of fruitiness on the nose for me on this one.
It's like you go to TGI Fridays and you order a mojito. It's like a mojito at TGI Fridays. When you know there's like 8 pounds of sugar in that drink.
It is, man. It's very candied.
Yeah. It's not like the fresh mojito like you get like in Cuba, like a really good fresh mojito. This is like the fake TGI Fridays mojito.
It's just like like the TGI Fridays, like a little bit of Sprite with some like mojito flavoring added to it.
Yeah, and they put like powdered sugar around the glass with some crazy shit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not getting too much on the nose outside of that sweetness, unless it's kind of buried in there. But
what about I am picking up like a little bit of like some cherry notes, some like light cherry notes.
I mean, I kind of got that Andes mint thing going on that you had mentioned. A little bit of that like mint and then chocolate, some sweetness.
There's another flavor that's popping up here. I'm just trying to figure out what the hell it is.
Big Vic says he's pouring some of that Three Amigos pick. Love that pick, you crazy trio. That pick was a hitter, man. That was a good pick.
Listen, the friggin' three Sagamigos pick is legendary.
Yeah, all right, let's get to the palate on this one, guys.
I know what it is. It's not black licorice. It's more of the fresh one, like the star anise.
Star anise.
Oh.
That's what I'm picking up on this now. That's what it is. Oh yeah, and I get it on the palate. I get it on the palate too.
That's kind of interesting. That's really nice, actually.
It is. I don't mind it. It's more on like the herbal anise.
Yeah.
Even if you go into like a cardamom, like nutmeg type thing.
Yeah, man.
Going on, right?
Yeah. I mean, like it almost kind of like there's also a little bit of like this is gonna sound kind of weird, but like a lemon lime, like a Sprite. There's something that's got that.
There's way more like citrus and one of you guys said herbal. Like it's very herbal. This one,
yeah, it's very herbal. I'm serious. I'm getting like cardamom and
that's really
the
nice.
The spices really come through on this one. On like even the front and middle of the palate, like that nutmeg, that rye spice, cardamom.
I do wish there was a little bit more sweetness to balance it out because it is very herbal forward.
Yeah. The finish on this one seems to go away fairly quick though. Yeah, what about you guys? What do you think?
I was just gonna say I wish this one had the finish of 2, and if that was the case, 3 for me would be like in the lead. I mean, I really enjoy.
See now that second sip kind of lingered on a little bit more.
Yeah, I like the finish on 115. It's nice.
That's not that bad, man. That's definitely a different experience from 94.
It has a slight different profile to it. That's for sure. And I really kind of dig it. But man, just like 2, that spice, like really kind of comes in late. Black pepper, really late on the finish. Like it hits right in the back of the
on this one here.
Yeah,
definitely.
It does hit.
That nutmeg follows through for sure.
I think it's almost like you can't prejudge the finish because you have to wait a little longer and it just pops back up for you. You know.
Yeah, this one has a lot more baking spices on it than the last two.
I like that one.
It's weird. It's got the baking spice, and usually you kind of correlate that with the sweetness, but it doesn't really have a lot of the sweet.
Right. The nose did for sure.
And the nose did, but on the palate, it's more of the herbal.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
baking
nice
spice.
Finish. It is. I don't think I've ever had a Sagamore that tasted quite like that. It's nice.
No, there's something about this one where there's like even some like different like floral notes. There's something that's like soft but rich about it. I don't know what that is.
It's a little bit. I don't think it's as viscous though as 94.
No.
It's a little bit thinner. It's a little actually because of all that herbal quality. It's actually a little bit more drying too on the back of the palate. But
a lot of those baking spices are very like kind of present, very dominant on the back, and I think that's one of the reasons why.
Yeah, like when you just like if people like joke around like you take a tablespoon of cinnamon, you just can't even like stomach it, and it just sucks the moisture out of your palate. It's not to that level, but it's there. I just wish there was a little bit more viscosity and a little bit more sweetness to balance it out. But otherwise, I still say that's like my second favorite. Though.
Yes, this is definitely my second favorite.
I would agree.
Yeah.
It's
really
and it's crazy because I mean they both have a really nice experience to them, like very, very different. Like this one was like I don't know, like I said, a lot of those spices and stuff kind of played around with the front of the palate and then into the back. It is a little drying. But that it does linger on a little bit, the finish.
Yeah, what Scott said about kind of the floral components. Yeah, I don't think it's something I've really ever gotten on a Sagamore. Because I mean, generally Sagamores, like the Sagamores we get to try. I mean, you have the double oak, you have a lot of the finished ones, and you have the core range, which are pretty consistent. But unless you really get into some of these picks, you don't really kind of see a lot of the variability that Sagamore has. So I've had rye forward ones, I've had sweet ones, I've had ones in the middle, but this 115 is kind of it's like it's not sweet, it's herbal, but it's also not like a rye. Right. I don't know how to explain it. It's just like a different animal.
Yeah. And very, very different.
For me, I pick up a little bit of sweetness, but it's more like right up front. That goes away. And then again, more of that like kind of floral, like some of that maybe slight chocolate notes, but the herbal characteristics are always there, but they're not like a pungent herbal note. So like when we say that, like don't think we're talking about like just straight up like nasty herbs. Like it's not that.
It's not that. It's like it's I don't know. It's like baking. It's like I don't know. It's like baking something savory, but without adding any like sugar or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well said on that. That's like perfect example of it.
All right,
Nathan's in the house, buddy. Everyday drinker. What's going on, buddy? Congrats on the pick. Thank you. Big Vic says, "Is it Hancock whiskey herbal status?"
Hancock whiskey? No, I don't think so. It's a different type of animal. I don't really know how to explain it. It's I mean, I think that was the best way I could. It's kind of like baking something savory, but you're not adding any sugar to the recipe to kind of give it a little bit of sweetness. But you're getting like all the savory. You're getting the cinnamon. You're getting the mint. You're getting I'm getting like a really like healthy punch of cardamom, nutmeg, all that.
Very baking spice heavy.
Very baking spice heavy. But normally, like I said, you correlate baking spice with sweet.
Yeah.
But that's not really happening here. It's interesting.
It is nice.
Getting a little bit. Anyone get like a little bit of apple on 115? It's a slight appley note on the nose now. Not so much the palate. Getting a little apple.
What about a caramel apple?
Yeah.
Could totally be a caramel apple.
On the nose, it could be because the nose is a lot sweeter than the palate is.
Yeah.
And for me, I know you guys are like kind of leading with the herbal notes, but I'm getting some sweetness on this. Now again, it's more up front for me. But I mean,
it is. It's up front, but it's too quick.
And then it's like it like rushes right into that like baking spice.
You lose it. It kind of just gives you a drive-by.
That's an interesting one.
It is interesting. I mean, let's
let that sit out. That could get better with airtime. Just sitting.
Yeah, I agree.
I think I'm gonna have to pour a little bit more of that, just so I've got a little more to open up in there.
Whiskey Nose says, "Dan missed the age statement. Oops, on the pick tonight." Well,
it's gonna be a minimum. I mean, at this point, based on these, it's a minimum of 7 years.
Yeah, minimum.
I mean So the high rye fill date was 8/22/14, so that's over 8 years. That's 8 years. And then the low rye fill date is at 7 years. So you can it could say 7 year on the bottle, but but there'll be some 8 year whiskey in it. So
yeah.
Yep.
Well, based on these, I mean, that's you could age state this as 8 years.
No, because there'll be seven. It
has to be the minimum of 7.
Yeah, because
but the earliest is August of 2014.
No, you got to look at the low rye fill date next to
the low rye. Yeah, December.
You have the low rye is 12/22 in the blend. We haven't hit.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. Gotcha. Okay, yeah.
All right, guys. Let's get into that. Let's get into the 125.
All right.
Yeah, then we can start really breaking these down here.
Oh man.
Oh.
Boy, now you talk about some apple. I get some apple on this.
Yeah, this is the caramel apple right here.
Yeah, like I thought that too, and I was thinking kind of like even like really nice like heavy like pie crust, like a nice flaky pie crust, like buttery or something.
There's definitely I can see that.
And I'm also getting like a really nice like not super sweet like Luxardo cherry too.
I do pick up a little bit of dark fruit on this one, Scotty.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that.
I don't know if it's cherry, but it's definitely some dark fruit on this one.
Yeah, I don't know if it's cherry, but yeah, there's something there.
Well, cherry to me, you sons of bitches.
That's a nice nose on this one.
But yeah, I'm definitely getting a little bit of that kind of like caramel apple. Yeah, this is a little bit more again, kind of fall in the glass.
This is coming across like a cognac finish. It's like that sweet, like almost like a grapiness to it.
Very sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, dude, that mid palate on there. There's like this. You were saying cognac finish. There's like this like delicate kind of like darker fruit that appears there. Sweet up front, darker fruit, some rye spices. That's interesting.
See, on this one, I'm getting that. What'd you say earlier, Scott? Like a Sprite, like a lemon lime.
Yeah.
On the back of that, it's like a bubbly. That's nice.
Shit, that's a spicy meatball.
It definitely has some of those baking spices and rye spices present for sure on the back of the
for me, that's maybe. I mean, outside of 2, that's maybe the heaviest like rye and baking spice for me.
This almost can smell like it's finished in something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It comes off like a cognac or. There's something very like grapey, raisiny to me on this.
See, and I still like the caramel apple on that. A little bit of pie crust.
The nose is definitely that. Like, but like Jason said, there's like some kind of like darker fruit there that sits like right on the middle of the palate.
Yeah, there's some dark fruit there for sure.
A lot of kind of sweetness up front, and that rye spice starts to develop. Some nutmeg,
and even like a little bit of like some
black
honey.
pepper.
There's some like honey notes too.
That's got a nice viscosity to it too. I mean, I'd put that right up there with that 94. That second one.
Dude, I mean, I think this will definitely give 94 a run for its money. That's a nice.
That's a yeah. I mean,
this one to me is actually drinking a little bit about like 115 was. But with that layer of sweetness and like that extra layer of something it needed, that 115 needed for me.
Yeah, that to balance out that spice.
All that spice in that. Yeah, like 125 is balancing it out in that way. It's really nice.
Yeah. But no, you said like that that when it was finished. And I do pick up. I think it's more of like it's definitely a darker fruit, very delicate on the middle of the palate there. That sweetness up front, and then it kind of turns into this like a lot of like nutmeg, kind of black pepper that kind of flows through, but it's not super spicy on the back end like that other one was. Like
it's weird too, because I can't like Scott said, I can't get away. It's really caramel apple on the front.
Yeah, I really dig 4. Like, I mean, 4 is enjoy 4. What it does for me is it makes me like want to like take my time with it. There's something about it that like makes you want to like try to like pull more out of it. Like there's a lot there, but it's just very enjoyable.
Yeah.
I think
EJ with the sorry, Scotty. EJ with the $5 super chat. Y'all are missing. Was it y'all making me get to my 3 Sagamigos out? Cheers. Yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for the super chat. Thomas Crosetti. Sagamore is awesome. Sounds like that's some good options in this lineup. Yeah, there's definitely some options in this lineup for sure. I think there's probably one that's for sure like not in the running right now, but the other 3 are, depending on which way you go, they're all damn good. Thank you for the super chat.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of like it's like a charcuterie board of great rye whiskey.
I'll tell you what, man, that's the thing with Sagamore. They're just like fly under the radar, and man, they need more credit for what they do, because man, they do some fantastic things. That's for sure.
Robot Scott, what's going on, buddy? My fellow Maryland buddy. What does that say? Nimrak says, still leaning towards the description of 2. So he's still liking the description of 94.
Actually, I probably should pour a little bit more of 2.
Cam Lochner says because it's all about that spice, no meatball.
Nice.
That's so funny.
That's gonna happen. We're gonna have a spicy meatball pick.
Spicy meatball. Man.
Yeah. I mean, so man, I mean, this is a lot harder than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, because I think the last pick we did, the 3 Sagamigos stuck out so much to us. I think even though we were like, you two were sick as dogs, but it's like that one was like a clear winner. Like this one, I would say aside from 80, because 80 is
Yeah, 80 is a little bit more, I will say, kind of like, let's just call it like traditional.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really good and nice mint notes and all of that. But I mean, when you're comparing it to, we'll say 90, 94 and like 125 and really even 115 at that, I mean, it kind of just, fell a distant 4th as far as I'm concerned. But
yeah, I would say so.
Rob D's in the house. Cheers, Rob.
You guys want to eliminate 80 and just work on
I'm going to sip it one more time, but yeah, I think
yeah.
Man, I'll tell you what, like 94 and like 125 are like very.
I'm going to eliminate 80 from this one for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't kind of live up to the experience that these other 3 kind of provide right now. I mean, it's still good. It just doesn't have what these other.
No, it doesn't have the depth that these other 3
have.
Yeah. I think for me right now, let me taste through them again, because they've all gotten a little bit of airtime here. So
yeah. I'm just going to go back from starting with 94 and go from 94, 15, and 25.
Richie Z is in the house. Dusty Dan's big cheers. Congrats on the barrel pick, brother. Cheers, Jason and Scott. Cheers, Richie. Good to see you, man.
Man, 94 is good.
Yeah.
94 just I can just smell that all day long.
I could drink it all. I could drink
a little bit of chocolate too is showing up on the nose here. 94.
Letting that sit, I think, really opened up 94.
Oh my God,
that's good, man.
That is so good.
That's really good.
I mean, ultimately, Dusty, Scott and I, we could just tell you what we think, but this is your pick, so
absolutely.
Yeah. So
94 is a hitter, man. That's a damn good barrel.
Yep.
And I mean, I think we all agreed with, like, we had the very similar tasting notes on this one as well. Man, and it's crazy when you try to compare it to like Sagamigos because it's just so different.
I know it is.
You know?
Yeah, and see, when you go to like coming off of 94 and you go to 115, it lacks the richness and depth. But man, it's something that's very unique about that. It's just different. Like there's such a heavy, like floral note. There's just something about like 115 that's still enjoyable, but it's not 94. I'll say that.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. 115 is just lacking a layer of
Yep. It's the sweetness. The sweetness is the one that it was lacking.
It's lacking that little bit of sweetness to balance out all those great floral baking spice and savory notes.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
If this had some sweetness to it, man, this may take everything.
Yeah, it's just missing that little layer of flavor to really bring it home.
Yeah, it's slightly flatter than 94.
And
it's so baking spice heavy though. After going from 94 to that, it's tons and tons of baking spice.
It still drives me crazy though, because 115 on the fucking nose is so sweet. It doesn't do it on the palate.
No. It's literally just like it's tons of baking spices.
Yeah,
tons of rice spice.
I think also like when you're comparing like the finishes, the finish just doesn't hold up to 94, or 125. I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, Whiskey Nose. What does he say, Dan? These two clowns don't know what they're doing. Rookies here, right?
Dude, man,
that is false, Marty. That is false.
Scott, guess what? Scott, I broke open this the other day.
Uh-oh.
Which one is that?
This is the blueberry port.
Oh yeah, how was? I didn't get that one. How is it?
Oh my god, dude!
Oh man, I should have gotten it.
Cam Lochner says, "If it ain't got a mid palate, I'm spitting it out."
I feel like I need to talk in like a Valley Girl voice when I drink that blueberry port wine. Like, oh my god!
So is it very blueberry forward?
Honestly, it's not that overly sweet, but the more as it's opening up, it's getting a little bit more blueberry, but still, thankfully, it's not like overly dominating the experience. So again, I just think Starlight knows how to finish.
Yeah,
I did of course crack open the maple one.
Oh, nice.
Oh, how was the maple? So I didn't get the maple one. How was that one?
You didn't? I thought you got this one.
I didn't get the maple. No.
Oh, the maple's good. It's nice because it's not overdone. There's a slate, and the maple really shows up more on the finish part of it, which I enjoy more because you still get the good whiskey notes up front, and then that kind of like on the finish you get those nice creamy maple notes, which is nice.
Thomas, that chocolate note is starting to come out a little bit on 94 for me too.
Yep.
And I went back to it.
I'm going to sip 125 really quick and see how that compares back to 115 because I like 94 over 115. I just want to make sure I like 125 over 115, which I think I do. And that'll eliminate 115 from this one.
Man, I'm starting to get more on 125, much more of the that Andes candies again on there. There's a little more chocolate and mint that's coming out in that one.
Yeah, nice sweet oak on that one too.
Yeah, 125. I'm getting like that cooked, like that fennel note. The
God, that 125 is so good, man.
It's a nice balance of sweet and spice.
It really is.
Man, that's
I definitely like 125 over 115.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for me, it's between 94 and 125.
Yeah, I agree.
Right now, it really this kind of boils down to, do you want one that's maybe slightly richer, or do you want one that's got a little bit more like sweetness? I don't think 94 is nearly as sweet as 125.
What? Really?
Yeah. I think more of the darker, richer notes come out in 94 than they do 25 for me.
No, see, I think 94 is way sweeter than 125 is.
Really?
Oh yeah. Man. 94 to me on the palate is like molasses, brown sugar.
That's all sweet shit.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You said 125 is sweeter than 94. I think it's the other way around.
Oh, all right. Well, let me go back and take a.
125 is sweet, but it's more of a fruit sweet.
Yeah. that cognac-y, almost like
not a sugar sweet.
Let Brett say, time's getting short and getting on the drawing for some dusty samples. Every $5 super chat gets you a chance. Yeah, again, guys. So for those of you in the chat, I am going to give away a sample pack of all 4 of these picks. I'll put a sample pack together of all 4. So that I'm going to give that away. Also, 2 samples of the, even though it's in a Wild Turkey bottle, this is a 1970 Old Fitzgerald decanter. It is Stitzelweller produced, so I am going to give away 2 samples of this. I think it's 86.8 proof, very odd proof point. And then I'm also going to give away 2 samples of this Kentucky Tavern Captain's Court. Give away 2 samples of this as well. This is Glenmore distilled 90 proof, fantastic pour right here. Fantastic dusty pour.
Oh, man.
I'm going to have a hard time deciding between these. I'm not going to lie to you.
Man, I still think 25 is sweeter than 94 to me. Like I get more richer, darker, spicy notes on 94. Like it's got some sweetness, but to me it's not as sweet as 25.
Yeah, but 125 though, you're not telling me what's sweet though. You're just telling me spicy notes on 125. What's sweet to you on 125?
I can't tell you that. if I tell you, I'm gonna have to kill you. So that's gonna be my special secret. All right, hang on.
It's his bearskin rug secret. Oh my god!
It almost that 125 really does give you the kind of that like it's finished. Like there's that delicate kind of dark fruit there that appears on the middle of the palate. Very sweet up front. And then like towards the back, like the mid palate into the back, there's like it's a little bit of nutmeg starts to generate there, some black pepper.
Yeah,
this one's tough. I
still think there's some of that like creme brulee, like that toasted, creme brulee topping. There's something that's a little bit more vanilla forward on 125 than there is on 94. Like 94 are the heavier, like rich notes to me, spicy. Now they both have good spice, and I think even 94 is maybe even slightly drier than 125, a little bit.
Yeah, I love 94. I keep going back to it. 94 is the jam. 94 is the closest thing that I've had to like a Thomas H. Handy level rye whiskey.
94 definitely for me is kind of a little above 125. I feel like even though 125 is sweet, a lot of that kind of like dark fruit is present. I do feel like it's missing kind of like a nice spice factor to it. It has a little bit of nutmeg. It is lacking the rye spice a little bit. But that 94 is almost like a perfect balance of like everything. It has viscosity to it.
It's a fantastic rye whiskey.
Yeah, I mean, it's got viscosity to it. It has a lot of very different flavors that you would pull from a rye.
It's no doubt richer. Like there is richer, like deeper notes on 94 than there are on 125. No doubt.
Yeah, I think even the mouthfeel, I think in general works.
The mouthfeel is definitely different from 94 to 125 for sure.
Man, that lingering baking spice and all that cinnamon and all that on 94. I mean, it is a fantastic.
It really does have everything though. It's got that sweet. It's got that little bit of fruitiness. There's that spice, the viscosity.
Damn, it's freaking good, man.
It is, man. I mean, that is just it's like dense. Definitely sticks around the palate, the gums, the soft palate.
The gums.
Yeah, like licking your lips, like swishing around. Like you can kind of go back and lick your gums and it kind of like reappears there. Like it just sticks to it.
Yeah, see, 125, I can see where Scott thinks is a little bit. I think it's more of a bright sweet. than 94 is, because I think it brings, you have the caramel apple up front, you have the
cheers, Dunny.
That cognac-y, like dark fruity finish on it, or like that mid palate. But yeah, I think the finish and viscosity is where it lacks for me, where 94 kind of wins on that.
I would.
125 had the finish and the viscosity of 94. It would
125 would crush it.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. I mean, I think overall, like 94 is probably, in terms of like what I enjoy, I think 94 is a incredible rye whiskey, hands down. So
yeah. Very well balanced, but also kind of brings out some of those notes that you wouldn't typically get. Again, I think it's a lot. The mouthfeel, I think, is probably the best out of all 4 samples. The viscosity,
the spice lingers forever on.
It's definitely a long lingering finish on 94.
Yeah, it does.
Way more than 125.
Man.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I think 125 probably slightly lacks in the overall finish.
That 125 is still a damn good pour, though, man.
Yeah, it is.
Man, 94 even is starting to get like this, like wine and like Cabernet infused like chocolate thing going on in the palate. That thing is nuts.
You know, it's funny. It's funny you say that, because like when I took that last sip of 94, I almost got like what is that candy? Almost like a raisinette.
Right. I was almost gonna say like there's a little bit of like a fruity freaking Pop-Tart with like that.
I got this weird like raisinette thing going on 94, like on the back of the palate.
You can take your raisinettes and shove it up your I'm gonna take this freaking Pop-Tart all day long.
You can take your raisinette, shove it up your Pop-Tart.
Exactly. Yeah, shove it up your Pop-Tart.
This in 94, the more it's sitting out has gotten a little bit more chocolatey, but it has still kept the spice and the viscosity. Yeah. 94 is I don't know about you, Dusty. If I were you,
I think 94 to me is I think it takes 125. I think and nothing wrong with 125. I think it's fantastic. Whoever picks that barrel is going to be,
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I think the overall richness and depth and complexity of 94. I mean, at the end of the day, it's really hard to beat that. Man, it's a lot of like chocolate, not an over sweet chocolate though. Man, that's really on the finish. It's spice and chocolate.
It is, yeah. It's not like it's not like dominating everything, but you do get, there's definitely some chocolate present on that back of the palate and into the finish. Some black pepper kind of flows through that, like lingering.
Yeah, it's really the perfect kind of combination of flavors on 94. It's everything you want in the sweet profile for rye, but then it's everything spicy you want in a rye, long lingering finish. Just has a little bit of everything.
Sweet,
I agree.
It's sweet and spice and everything nice.
There you go.
Thank you, Bourbon, for the $5 super chat. I would say don't lose taste. Might as well try to get the Dusty. Yeah. Cheers, buddy. EJ, the $5 super chat. Thanks for offering those Dusty samples. They sound great. Yes, indeed. They are great for sure. Mike M says, love that Sagamore products. Double Oak is my favorite so far. Cheers. Cheers, Mike M. And thank you for the super chat, my friend. I appreciate that.
That Double Oak is a sneaky good rye.
What was I say? The sticker needs to be Scott on a bear rug listening to this.
We're done.
Yeah, guys, I think, I mean,
no, we're going full Dusty Dan Saturday Night Fever on this sticker.
Yeah, buddy. Let's unbutton another button, man. Let's do it. Let's get it.
Oh, yeah, we got big old gold chain.
That's what's happening. Big old gold chain. That's what's happening.
I think 94 takes it, guys. I mean,
it's your pick.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm happy with 94. 125 is great.
Are you 100% sure?
I am 110% sure.
There's the babe. There's the winner.
Yeah, I like 94, man. I mean, I think this is great, man.
I think 94 can give Handy a handy.
Dude, this is like, this has all different kinds of we might have to make a sticker about this one, Jason. We got to talk about this one now. That'd be great.
I'm pretty sure that sticker is going to get shut down.
Yeah. Brian, don't worry, Brian. I swear we won't do that sticker. Just joking.
I don't think that's
And it's Raisinette, Cab, Creme Brulee. Sign me up. Yeah, dude. There's a lot of flavors going on in 94. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like when we first drank it, I took notes of some of the stuff we wrote down, and then when we went back to drink it, it's like an additional set of notes on what we took, and it's just. The flavors are all over the place. I mean, the mouthfeel is just fantastic.
Yeah, it's a great. Jay, so what is this one next to the Sagamigos? Is it open? Is yours open?
I have an open one over there. Let me go grab it.
I'd be interested just to see like how they kind of like stack up against each other.
I just remember getting a lot of like coffee and espresso, some toffee. A little bit of butterscotch on the Sagamigos. Of course, you and I were both shit-faced though. So
I'm glad you remember that.
I remember we were both pretty nasty, but
I just remember being that Sagamigos, man. It was just a great, well-balanced rye.
Yeah, for sure.
All right,
Richie Z with the $10 super chat. Whichever barrel you pick is going to be a winner. Cheers, Richie, and thank you for that. Yeah, I mean, it's honestly, man, like I think 94 really has everything you're looking for in this rye. Again, nothing wrong with 125. It had great flavors that,
I think at the end of the day, 94 stood out amongst all of them in terms of just the
94.
Overall.
Yeah, and then what's crazy is it evolved on the palate. And we went, like I said, we went through tasting it, and we go back. There was more notes than what we originally had. So I was trying to write down as many notes as I could, and it's just like our notes doubled. It's just like continuously evolved.
I think the Sagamigos, when comparing them. The three Sagamigos, I mean, as far as experience, it's right there with 94. I'm talking about like level of sweetness to palate to spice to finish, the lingering spice. It's got all the things that 94 has, but 94 I think is actually a tick darker. I think the Sagamigos we chose because it had like almost like a creme brulee butterscotch type punch to it.
Yeah.
Whereas the 94 kind of gives you the same experience, but it's like we left the creme brulee in the oven a little too long and it got a little bit darker and caramelized.
Yeah. Burnt brown sugars.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, I mean, just thinking back, I could see where like maybe the Sagamigos was maybe even slightly sweeter. This is like heavier like depth probably on this one.
There's a lot more depth to this one.
Yeah, dude, this is nice, man.
Yeah. 94 is going to take it, guys. So 94 is definitely the winner.
Dusty, you should probably pass on 94 and take 125. Jay, what do you think of 94?
You guys go take it. I think honestly, man, they both sell. I mean, they're
both really good. But so, I think really at the end of the day, 94 like really probably stands out amongst all of them, like pretty good. I mean, to be honest.
Yeah, 94 is the one, man. That's it's good. Blind. I would love to just blind against the three Sagamigos. I think they both have the perfect balance of sweet spice again and everything nice. But I think 94 has like that extra like dark and like that chocolate layer to it.
Yeah.
That just gives a little bit more depth.
Man, that's like a sticker could be like freaking meatballs on fire. Dude, that is like a spicy meatball. Man, I love that lingering like baking spice.
There is definitely that lingering spice on this. And we said that from the start too. That was one of the things that we mentioned on 94 was that lingering spice. It just kind of flowed through.
It's really nice.
That's a really good pick, man. That's a damn good barrel.
Man, that's not too shabby for number one.
Yeah, dude, that's going to be your number one pick. That's it. It's all downhill from here.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome, guys. Again, 94 is going to be that's our barrel. I know it's probably impossible to see any kind of details on that, but
you could see it. There it is. Yeah, high ride
94-14.
Yeah, gives you the locations, high ride fill date. Again, a blend of 7 and 8 year by the time it's bottled, and this will be really, really.
This is going to be by the time by the time it gets bottled.
If you're in the Master Journey Whiskey Club, you guys will have access to this pick once Dan is ready. So
yep, and again, I mean, big thank you to you guys for the opportunity to do that, because like I said, without that kind of support, none of this would have happened. So again, thank you guys both for that support for sure.
I just blended the 3 Sagamigos and 94 to make it the 3 Dan Amigos. So
the 3 Dan Amigos.
It looks dark, man. That looks dark on the glass.
Holy fuck, that works really well.
Does it really?
Wow, that's good. Look how dark it is.
It is. You had it. It's like it looks like milk chocolate almost.
It's like iced tea, man. Holy shit.
Yeah, it does.
That's super dark.
I might get 2 bottles of this pick, and I'm going to take one of my Sagamigos, and I'm going to blend it completely with that bottle.
that can be like your house whiskey, man. Just give that to people.
That's going to be my decanter, baby. It's going to be the Dan Amigos.
That'd be nice.
Hawk, Whiskey Nose said, Hawk, glad you're feeling better, and you have beat that rough cold or the rough cough. Yeah.
Oh, God, it's brutal.
Dusty Dan's big saggy rye.
This will be through Shared Pour, guys. So
yes, Dusty Dan's big saggy raisinets. That's a great.
Oh man,
that's great.
I'm not creative when it comes to that, but I can picture Jason like making a sticker of like you just holding on to some like huge raisinets.
Kino C says, "Darn, another bottle. I must get my wife full." You don't gotta let her know, man. It's all right.
They know.
Bourbon of the Week said, "Let's go." Robot Scott with the $5 super chat. Sagamore, bring back Maryland Rye. That's it, buddy. Dunny says, Rut-Row Infinity Blend.
Yeah.
Rut-Row. So Dan. So I know somebody was asking in the chat. Dan is a Blend-A-Geddon competitor this year. We'll see if he can make it to the first round this year.
Yeah, well, I'm actually in week 4, thank God. So I'm not like the first guy to go. But, that's man, you talk about demoralizing. Like the last 2 years, first freaking competition, first one out each time. It's like, God damn.
Yeah.
What did I do wrong? Blend. That's what I did wrong. Well, it's fun though, man. That's I'm looking forward to it. So,
well, I think Scotty, I'm gonna have him come on and be my first judge with somebody else. So
nice
in round 1. So
what category do I get? Scotch?
No. You're not going to do the Franken whiskeys. I'll just take those. But when we start the American whiskey blends, I'll have you on in the first round. So
okay, all right, fair enough.
Tim Corney says through Shared Pour. Yes, this is through Shared Pour.
And Shared Pour does a great job of getting most bottles out to a lot of locations. Yeah. So I mean, it's just I think everybody pretty much at this point is aware of the handful of states that are not good for anybody, So
and this, I mean, honestly, this pick, everybody's going to have access to. So, it'll go out. I can send it out to people, and then through Jason and Scott's Mash and Journey Club, it's going to be available to everybody. So, not sure what the yield amount is going to be yet, but I'm sure it'll be pretty healthy. I'm sure.
Well, yeah, when we did ours, we had I think over 200 bottles.
Yeah.
There was a good amount. I mean, when you're blending two different, aged barrels to make a blend, you're gonna have a good amount of yield. So
Yep.
So with that, there'll be a good amount of bottles for a lot of folks. So it'll be fun.
Cam says, sound like Jason told you what to blend, Dan. Yep. Now we know what you should blend. Jason just did it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's too late for that. He already submitted his blends.
Bourbon of the Week says PA is one of those states, sadly. What's that? They don't ship to?
Yeah, PA is like another controlled
PA, Tennessee, Illinois, and actually Arkansas have been the states that have really locked down on any outside shipping from a lot of retailers. So those are the states that it's just been tough. So
yeah,
bourbon of the week. I'll take care of you, buddy. Not a problem.
You can add Utah to that too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Utah. Yeah, Utah in some cases, but
I don't think the Mormons like rye or bourbon out there.
I hope not. He has all them. Yeah.
It's all the guys with the 9 wives. They don't want their bourbon.
God
94 is our winner. I guess we can go through and do our giveaways now.
Yeah, fire away.
Give away some Dusties, buddy.
Yeah, man. So like I said, I will give away a sample pack of this blind flight or this barrel pick flight here. All 4. So all 4 samples will go to one person. Brett, are you still in the chat? Hopefully Brett is still in here. I mean, if not, I wrote down everybody here. I just have to do a randomizer here real quick. Whiskey Nose says great yield at 200. Yeah, that's what it should be.
Yeah, it'll be a nice one.
Roughly around one of them. But 1 through 49 randomizer ready to go. I don't know how many. Oh, shoot. Copper Wolf just got in for 2 samples. Copper Wolf 87. Good to see you in the chat. Thank you for the super chat. What do I have on here? 3, 4, 5, 9, 10, 11.
Yeah, and real quick to everybody who is in here as part of the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club. Friday, we're releasing the 2 Jack Daniels. So
yes, Friday. We're saying it again. Friday.
Yeah. When it says in the title, when it says dropping this Friday, and we make a post like today, that means it's dropping this Friday. That's what guys this Friday.
Yeah. I literally write dropping this Friday, Jack Daniels pick. First message. When is it dropping? Are you fucking serious? Like, come on, guys, you're killing me.
I had one of my guys out west. I had one guy. He's a really, really good guy. And he sent me a message. He's like, man, I read this thing twice. Like, when is it releasing? I'm like, dude, it's literally in the title. It's the first part of it. It says dropping this Friday.
Oh, that's good
Jesus
stuff.
Christ.
Yeah. Then the next one. What's the price? It's written there. $66.99. You can't go wrong.
JD on Friday. What are the proofs? And which one should I pick?
Exactly. That's always the next question. What proofs? Which one should I get, Jason and Scott?
Ryan Squirrel knows. He's busting our balls right now because he was part of the live stream that we did. We were harping on that a little bit. Exactly. Yeah.
Whiskey Nose says he'll get it on secondary.
Yeah. We make note of that too. We don't want to see him on secondary.
Yeah. Your guys' club has been. I was telling Scott off air that your guys' club was mentioned on one of the channels there on Facebook. So your guys' stuff's getting out there. It wasn't posted, like nothing was for sale. It was just somebody had mentioned your club on there. Dunny says, which bottle should I get?
Adam says, so this Friday?
Yeah.
Which bottle should I get?
Yes, exactly.
Any tasting
notes. Yeah. I mean, everything is so written in detail. And
that's the other.
Nobody wants to read anymore. They just rather ask us.
That's the other best one. Can I get some tasting notes? I'm like, fuck, just read half of the paragraph. Just
Blind Squirrel says M&J is smashing it. Yeah, that's a fact right there, buddy.
We're trying.
Yeah, listen, Scott and I take this very seriously. Anybody we
do because when we were at Starlight, we had things in our mind of stuff that we thought we wanted and we tried, and we didn't enjoy it as much as things that we maybe didn't think we would enjoy as much. And when we were done and we decided, hey, here's what do we have, 4 or 5 at the end? I think it was 4. We did 4 blind. And we chose 3 of them. I mean, there were 4 that we really knew we enjoyed, but man, we I think we got some awesome ones. So
look at Patrick Q. M&J, do you guys? You guys drink whiskey?
Whiskey knows that this is the best group of people, man. Yeah, absolutely.
We so when Scott and I were
it's a mash and journey vodka club.
We were notified. We're like, hey, we'll have some cognac and Armagnac finished Starlights for you. We were like, oh, here we go. Yeah, so in our mind, like that's what we wanted. And when did we end up picking? We got a fucking an estate port wine finished rye whiskey that is unbelievable.
Yeah.
But the biggest surprise of the day was a straight bourbon that was named what was it named? Rock Candy what?
Yeah, it was Rock Candy.
Stone Fruit
Rock Candy. Yeah.
Dude, it was this barrel, we thought when we had it blind, we were convinced, oh, that's the cognac one. It's got to be. It's got so much richness and flavor. Yeah. And he's like, nope, that's the regular bourbon. We were like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Look, we got that bourbon first just to warm our palates up. He's like, here, we're going to give you this just to warm it up. And we tasted it. And we're like, is that thing like in play? Because that's ridiculously good. And it was probably overall the biggest surprise and maybe my favorite. Like it was so good. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, Scott and I are getting to the point where we're turning down barrels at this point. We're like, this isn't good enough.
That's crazy, man.
This isn't good enough. Let's
question. Do you guys have any more of 94 poured in your glass at all?
Look at John. Do you guys
go back and take a sip of that really quick?
Look at John says, do you guys do picks of Pappy?
John, we got one in the works. We're doing a very rare Pappy 17.
It's called Happy Slappy.
Happy Slappy.
Happy 17. It's called You'll Never Get This.
Yeah, M&J stands for what did Murray say? Meat and jerky picks.
Meat and jerky picks.
Get Strunk. No, I did not. I was actually online this morning to get one of the Four Roses picks, but I was too far back to get it. So I got the Rima 6 instead.
There you go, Jason. Holding out for the M&J Blue Run Barrel pick.
They won't. When they build that distillery, they're gonna have a photo of me. Like, don't let this guy in.
Banned for life, man.
Yeah,
I'm totally banned for life.
It just as soon as you step foot like in the door, the floor drops out and just sends you to the dungeon.
They unleash like killer butterflies on me. It's like, yeah.
Oh god.
Tim says, please turn some down. I'm going broke. we do. We've gone through some that I sent some stuff back to a guy the other day from I don't want to mention the brand, but I just told him we're going to pass. Like it was okay. We didn't think it was worthy of. And really, last night we did it with. Can we say what we did last night or no? With
we can talk about it. Yeah.
I mean, last night we tried through some samples of Wilderness Trail, another rye similar to the Mean rye that we did before, and the 4 samples we had were okay. But they didn't meet like our standards, so we requested more. So
yeah, I mean, we're not going to get a lot more. We're going to get literally one more barrel to like throw in the mix. But
yeah,
great group, bunch of mouth breathers who can't read or tell who M&J actually is.
Jesus,
I mean, that could be true. I mean,
yeah,
there's somebody had sent me a message that they didn't know what the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club was. All they knew is that emblem, the logo, was like any pick that they've had with that logo on it has been a great pick. So I'm like, hey, if it's to that point where you see that logo and you know it's gonna be a quality pick, then I'm happy with that. You don't need to know. You don't need to know who the fuck anybody is. Who cares?
Yeah, I'll take that for sure.
Yeah.
So they're holding out for the
AW at this point, we can't even get a fucking Buffalo Trace pick.
Yeah. Jesus. Man, look, we're literally like someone's got like Buffalo Trace is like our kryptonite. We can't get anything from Buffalo Trace at all. There's nothing. We don't get any offers at all right now. So
well, I mean, if we're gonna get anything, it'd be we're trying to get we talked with Shared Pour
Yeah.
to maybe try and get either a Weller antique pick, which I think would be great, or an Eagle Rare.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be anything crazy like Stag Junior and the Weller Full Proofs. I mean, you have to give away a lung to get one of those.
Yeah.
But even if we just got one of those, I think it'd be pretty cool. So,
but I mean, in fairness, we're also doing things like we're doing like a cast string Japanese, the Kaio pick. Like that's ridiculous. Like how many people are doing that? No one's doing that. Like I mean, that's another thing. So.
Wait, what is Big Vic? You always putting my shit out there, bro.
Jesus.
That's funny.
You're all right, Big Vic. I'm not busting on you. I know Big Vic. I give a pass on his questions because he's usually in the truck and he needs to know he can't look down and read. He's got to drive. When's
this thing dropping? How much is it? Who's distributing it?
Yeah, that's the other question I got last night. After I rode 66.99 that keg and bottle, who's distributing it? Oh my God, guys!
It's the funniest thing.
I know. It really seems like Buffalo Trace does not give a shit about Whiskey Tube. Yeah, they don't. They care more about bloggers, writers, magazines. Those critics like that. They don't really. They don't really. I will say I think Chad and Sarah got lucky with getting like their like a sample set of the antique collection. But
yeah.
I remember like getting, hey, any antique collection kits left, and they're like, I got like a 2-word answer, no.
Yeah, I think we all got that message.
That's it.
Yeah.
We all got that message.
Yep.
Just a big fat no.
I love the mix of M&J picks. Yeah, we got a lot of different stuff coming out.
That's the best part. I mean, I know like everyone gets really upset when they don't get the heritage brand stuff, but I mean, part of the whole thing was to continue to get, things like these Sagamores. I mean, stuff that people wouldn't maybe always want to go to or get, but this is great whiskey, and this is just another example of that.
Man, that 94 is so oily.
Dude, it's so damn good, 94.
Yeah, my shit's gone. I'm going to have to start chugging out of the 375.
You finished the whole sample? Oh.
Well, no, I just finished the whole sample, but I mean, I could if we're looking to party, but.
It says Bourbon of the Week says, how much are you paying to say their name? Yeah.
Well, yeah, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's the case, they should be paying me a lot because I shit on them all the time.
Yes. Dusty, we need to hit Frankfurt Avenue Liquors again. Oh man, that was a blast.
I mentioned that last week on the live stream. You guys, I haven't really heard anything from Buffalo Trace as far as I'm talking about like public relations, releases or any news releases that have been coming out about Buffalo Trace. Oh. Like I haven't really heard anything from them, so I'm wondering, what's going on. Like usually by this time, the only thing like we really heard, we got a press release on was the Colonel Taylor Rye barrel proof release. That's going to be the special release this year. Yeah. But no new Weller. The Buffalo Trace Antique Collection all that information should be released again soon. And apparently, from what rumors are saying, there's going to be no George T. Stagg again this year.
That's what I heard. And the thing is, a lot of times, even leading up to this, when you start to get into even the first part of September, there's some traction with the antique collection, but you don't hear anybody mention anything about it at all right now. Like it's just like almost MIA.
Like you just wonder if maybe Buffalo Trace is just focusing on their expansion and getting all that production up to quota here. And I mean, I don't know. It's interesting though. Not a lot of the stuff that we hear from Buffalo Trace throughout the year has really hit in 2022.
Yep.
No,
it's like
now that you say that, yeah, you're right. I mean, there's really nothing that's out there news-wise besides that expansion.
Yeah. I mean, they haven't talked about. I mean, you haven't heard anybody mention anything about any antique collection, like nothing. Like, I mean, it's been silent.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for the Weller Pumpkin Spice Edition. Where the fuck is that?
Any day. Yeah. I think.
I mean, honestly, in all honesty, I thought maybe the we would see a Weller bottled and bond. addition at some point.
Yeah.
Like to add to the lineup because we haven't seen that yet. But
I'm actually surprised that hasn't happened, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm. I mean, in all honesty, I think bottled and bond now is used more as a marketing, tactic than an actual.
That's perfect for Buffalo Trace. You can sell younger whiskey for a good price, and then people on secondary will go ape shit over a 4-year, bourbon and spend $750 on a 4-year bourbon. That's what Buffalo Trace could do in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Besides benchmark, what does Buffalo Trace have with a bottled and bond label on it?
Well, just the E.H. Taylor stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Benchmark and E.H. Taylor. I mean, there's been no real other special releases with bottled and bond on it.
Nothing. I mean,
you just figure like a lot of that stuff would make its way to other, brands under the portfolio, like a Eagle Rare bottled and bond or a Weller bottled and bond, or you would just think it would kind of make its way around.
Yeah, I agree. He says, that bottle of bond will go for $800 for no good reason.
Oh, for sure. It would tell. A new Buffalo Trace label. My God, I mean, that's the marketing people are missing this. Just create a label that says bourbon. No one gives a shit. It'll be a new one, and it'll sell for $1 gazillion.
And I'm, it's like in a way, it's like I'm kind of like proud of Buffalo Trace. I'm just like, thanks for just not rolling out like just a bunch of new label. Like I really hope that they're just focusing on the expansion and filling more barrels and getting more stuff out there. I think what's going to be interesting is in the next few years when you're talking about, because what is Sazerac and Buffalo Trace known for? Holding back inventory to increase demand.
Yep.
When this expansion's done and this stuff starts getting up to age, you can't use that excuse anymore.
Nope. So, this was a huge expansion, by the way. Like,
it's huge,
massive.
They're filling more barrels than anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what the comparison would be to like MGP versus Buffalo Trace at this point, but it's got to be close. So when you're kind of like taking those two going head to head, I mean, shit. I mean, that's a lot of barrels that they're filling.
That's a ton of barrels.
And with Blanton's being a 4 to 5 year old product now, you can't justify there being not enough inventory for folks. You just can't.
That's ridiculous that stuff now at this point has gotten that young. I mean, it's just like, holy moly, man.
If you go back and taste old Blanton's versus new Blanton's, there is a huge
older Blanton's from like the 80s and even the 90s. It's head and shoulders above to what we drink today.
Yes, absolutely. So you can tell there's an age gap for sure between the two.
Yeah, an age gap. It's like an age pit. Like it's it's not even close. I mean, and then you taste some of the international variants of Blanton's. I mean, those are even more delicious than stuff.
The red and the black, all those.
Well, like Tim says, there Bardstown's catching up to MGP, dude.
And every time I go to Bardstown, there's another warehouse.
Yeah, they are.
They build those things in like 4 days now. It's ridiculous.
That's insane.
It's crazy. They can't build those things fast enough. I mean, what they're doing is, I mean, they could easily be very soon the MGP of Kentucky for sure.
Yeah, I can agree with that, Scotty. I think here in the next, I mean, even now, I mean, with what they've built so far, I mean, they've built some warehouses that can fill tons and tons of barrels.
Oh yeah.
And then, they're just going to, I mean, they're going to continue to expand, that.
Well, they can't build those things fast enough. They can't fill them fast enough. And that's just the way it's going to be for them. I mean, there's clearly great money in contract distilling. I mean, the amount of money it takes to open a distillery, I mean, pairs in comparison to somebody coming in with a big, bankroll and buying whiskey from someone. And Bardstown knows that. So.
Yeah.
Drew Harris has a good question. Probably all three of us can probably. I'm a newbie, got 20 bottles in my collection, but don't know how to get the hard to find bottles. Any advice? Well, unfortunately, if you're getting into whiskey now, this is like the hardest time right now just to get anything allocated. Or I would ask Drew, what state do you live in? Because things are different depending on what state.
And here's another thing I would say to Drew is, you know what, the 20 bottles that you have, in all honesty, depending again on what it is, there are so many great whiskeys that you don't have to chase. You don't have to worry about them being on allocation. There's so many great whiskeys now that you could miss out on all of those and still possibly have better whiskey than some of the allocated ones. So don't get, being new to bourbon now, don't get all caught up and wrapped up in the chasing of allocated. It's as difficult now as
Drew is right here from Ohio.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, Drew, all I could say is wake up real early on Saturday mornings and line up a Giant Eagle, or figure out what Kroger's are near you, what their delivery dates are. But you have to wait online to get anything allocated these days.
Well, and don't expect you're going to go to Kentucky and find every great bourbon, because it's probably the last place you're going to get great bourbon.
Ohio. If you think you're going to walk into any place in Kentucky and find you might find Buffalo Trace on the shelf or some of the other stuff, but you're not going to find Eagle Rare or Weller just hanging out. And if you do, it's going to be $300 upcharge.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Yep. Tim Corney said they tried their 95.5 Origins Rye a few months ago, BBC. It's going to be incredible. That's awesome.
I've heard great things about that.
Yeah, I got to try their 95.5 Rye right out of the barrel at one point, and fuck, was it good.
Oh, that's awesome to hear.
Ohio,
that's awesome to hear. He says easiest ways, if you have the money, pay secondary prices, but I agree with Scott. There are so many great bottles on the shelf, better than allocated bottles.
Drew Harris, if I have any other, focus on store picks at this point, because the stuff that's on the shelf right now, and if you look back at my last 7 reviews, they've all been disappointing. All these special releases have all been disappointing. And you could find better stuff on the shelf or stuff that's available around. And on top of that, focus on store picks. Go to a store that hand selected a barrel, because
National Journey Whiskey Club.
Not only are those unique, but they're also going to be probably as good, or if not better, than most of the stuff you're going to find that people are chasing. So
that's what I would say. I would say there's a lot of pride in what we do when we select barrels. I mean, shameless plug, but I mean, I think a lot of what we do and the people we get involved to choose the whiskeys that we do, I mean, I think a lot of those are better than most of these allocated bourbons that people are going apeshit over. I would take what we do, and I've said this to Jason and other people, I'll have a hard time choosing whiskeys of the year knowing the picks that we've got. And I
have one special release bottle that I've had this year that's better than the picks that I think that we've done that have been my favorite bourbons. I mean, you have the Houdini, the Barrel Kings, the Four Roses. Those are my favorite bourbons I've had this year, though. I mean, you could put the 4-Gate 14-year Foundation up there, even the 10-year. But the Heaven Hill 17-year is probably one of the best bourbons I've had this year. That came from a big distillery. That's it. Everything else has been really kind of or it's okay. There's been really.
I would agree. I mean, I think the way to go, if you're getting into things now, rather than chasing allocated, find a couple of people within a whiskey group that you tend to agree with their palates. And if those work, then buy some store picks or buy some club picks or whatever it may be. I think you'll really enjoy not only the whiskey, but a lot of the community that surrounds, those picks.
And Drew, Ohio does state picks that get released by the stores. So Ohio is a state-run liquor agency, as you know. So they send a team out to go to different distilleries to do picks for the entire state, and then they get distributed through the agencies. That Kroger itself and Giant Eagle, they're not doing picks on their own. Those are done through the state. Now you do have instances where there'll be a restaurant what's the one I was just thinking of? Opa. Opa is a popular restaurant here that does their own picks. Century Bar in Dayton, they'll do a lot of their own picks too. So It just depends on who you're getting the pick from in Ohio. But most of the ones that come through Kroger, like they released the 2 Four Roses picks this week. Those were done by the state. They weren't picked by Kroger or Giant Eagle or anything. So,
yeah, guys. I mean, and you can kind of talk about like how those picks are done versus like how we do them. Like, I think there's a little bit more of when you get into these volume type of things where it's a little bit more of, I don't want to say a settling, but I think there's a little bit more of that versus what we do when we're a little more selective.
Yeah. So Drew, I helped pick all the Russell's Reserve bottles for Father's Day, but we had to pick 15 barrels of Russell's Reserve for the entire state of Ohio. So in that sense, you're not looking for good barrels. You're looking for barrels that are bad instead, because you're basically you're gonna taste through all these barrels, and if it's either really good or just a good solid bourbon, obviously there are going to be some gems in there, but you're going to take that barrel. What you're looking for is barrels that are a little too off profile and stuff that you don't think people will drink. And those are the ones you're not going to take.
Yep.
So it's kind of a big difference when you're picking for a state versus picking, for a store or a club.
Yep. Ian said, I'd rather have a Master Journey pick than stand in line and wait for a chance to get an E.H. Taylor or a Horsey. People have become obsessed with getting the names rather than good bourbon. Completely agree with that, man.
Ian, for us, like, there's no comparison. Like, if you gave us a lot of what we do, and again, we're a bit biased, of course, but I mean, I still think from our backgrounds and what we do, I mean, all this is collectively all three of us here right now. I mean, we would take a lot of what we're picking, like these Sagamores over a Buffalo Trace or Eagle Rare. As good as they are, they're just average bourbons, period. That's what they are. But a lot of these club picks or somebody that you line up with, they can pick some great whiskeys. So
I think that's the thing that people getting into whiskey now don't have the luxury of knowing. If you're just getting into whiskey now, Weller, Eagle Rare, Buffalo Trace, all these Elmer T. Lee, Colonel Taylor, all these brands that are chased by folks that make that from Buffalo Trace. And listen, nothing against them. They're all solid, great whiskeys. But when these entered the market, they were, the Weller line was created as a budget option for a wheated bourbon.
Yep.
So Weller Special Reserve was a $15 bottle. Antique came out not too long after for like $20. Weller 12-year was a $35 to $40 bottle when it first hit the market, even cheaper in some areas. So Elmer T. Lee, the same. Colonel Taylor, a little bit more expensive, but still around the same.
Yeah.
I mean, when these first hit, and listen, you could say this about a lot of whiskey brands that are still in the market, but a lot of those brands, even though they've gone up in price, are still accessible and still affordable. The Buffalo Trace stuff, for whatever reason, has gotten inflated because of the rarity of them and people gobbling them up. People have correlated anything Buffalo Trace with Pappy Van Winkle, which has made everything completely just allocated and really hard to get. But you have to know that all this stuff that people chase and wait in line for were like budget accessible bourbons at first, and nothing that Buffalo Trace or Sazerac has done between then and now, besides making it more rare, has made it any more special. In fact, it's probably less special than it was then.
I would agree. I mean, I think Thomas
agree.
Thomas kind of hit the nail on the head. That's exactly what Special Reserve, Antique 107, and Weller 12. These were all mediocre bourbons for a really good price that they could pump out there. And they've just gotten popular because of either allocation, people can't get them, and people do crazy, sketchy shit for those bottles. And it's still just average bourbon. It's good, but it's not going to blow you away. It's just not going to. So
Justin Kim says if you remove all the availability and secondary elements, Buffalo Trace might be the best bargain brand out there.
I think the best bottle that Eagle Rare that Buffalo Trace makes, I just gave away my hand. I think it's Eagle Rare. A 10-year bourbon that's an MSRP for what, $40
$35, $40? Yeah.
That's the best bourbon they make.
And the problem with like what Justin said was when you remove all of the hype and the popularity around Buffalo Trace, which you're not going to, it becomes a great value. Like based on that first part of the statement makes it a horrible value at this point because nobody can get it. And when people do, they have to pay crazy prices for it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and it's not, I mean, like I said, Wellers aren't available everywhere either, man. Like I know, Jason, you say Ohio gets them, maybe more of the special reserve than anything else, but like around here, I don't see it around Maryland at all.
Is Weller even getting difficult to get in Ohio?
So Weller Special Reserve tends to stick around a bit, but usually it's still the 107s get bought up. But I think a lot of the guys that buy them up use them for trade bait. Honestly,
yeah. Michelle Martin with the super chat, $20 super chat. All right, we'll end it with Michelle with the $20 super chat. We took a chance on a store pick of Journeyman 100% weeded whiskey store pick, and it's awesome. And only at $59.
Good.
Yeah, that's not bad.
In today's market, I mean, a $60 whiskey. I mean, that's just not. I mean, it's sad to say, but I mean, that's just not a lot for a bourbon or a rye anymore. It's just not.
It's not.
I mean, we know there's still a few of those good ones that hover on the bottom shelf, and generally they can because they're the big heritage brands and they can afford to do it. But that's, I mean, for a Journeyman to do it at $60, pretty good price.
Oh my God, I got the funniest. I haven't heard this one yet. It's a comment on my Remus review that I posted. Because it's Ross and Squibb.
Yeah.
Someone wrote Ross and Rachel getting a little too big for their britches.
Ross and Rachel, nice.
I have not heard that yet. That's amazing.
That's great.
Ross and Rachel.
All right, so between us right here that are the few that are watching, so how does, I mean, still go watch the video, of course, everybody, but like in a Cliff Notes, how is the Remus 6?
So overall, Remus 6 is the youngest. It's the youngest blend they've done to date, or one of the youngest. It's 8 to 10 years with there's 2% of it has a 14-year-old bourbon in it. Just 2% of the blend. That's it.
2%.
And I think that was just to give it maybe a little bit of oakiness to it, I guess. But there really isn't much. It's very fruity. It's sweet, citrus, cinnamon. It's MGP to the utmost.
Is it to the point where now, based on this release, that the Remus has kind of jumped the shark? Are we starting to see the decline in the quality?
I don't know if it's jumped. People don't realize it. People don't remember because maybe nobody likes to read press releases like I do, but I read them all. Remus 5 was a 5th anniversary edition. It didn't say anything about it on the bottle. It didn't say anything about it in marketing speak. Well, marketing, yes, but it didn't you wouldn't have known that at the store. So because it was a 5th anniversary, they put they put older whiskey in it to kind of help celebrate that. But people don't realize that or notice that. So now we're getting back to where Remus was beforehand, at some 8 to 10-year-old stuff. However, I would still like to see at the price it is now, because now we have an upcharge in Remus. It was an $85 bottle, which made it a really good value. Now we're getting up to $110, $120 for a bottle.
Oh, it jumped up that much.
Yeah. Yeah, with tax and everything, you're looking at $110 to $120. Okay. So when you kind of factor that in now, it's not as good of a value. Now it's kind of going on a downtick. So I think if you're gonna higher the price, you have to include the quality. You have to go back to a Remus 4 age where everything was that whole blend was about 12 years old.
Yeah.
So I think that would make it a little bit more easy to buy. However, I mean, people make good points. Forgate will source some MGP and charge people $250 for it, and people will buy it.
Yeah.
So I don't know where the disparity is or why that is, but maybe the fact that it's 100 proof instead of barrel proof. Yep. But I will say, you can't go in tasting Remus 6 and thinking it's going to be anything like 5. It's just, they're completely different animals.
Yeah.
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 I know Cam said, case in point, Middle West Cast Strength Collection, Cast Strength Bourbon. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
That Cast Strength is one of the best whiskeys I've had so far this year, by far. The Cast Strength version.
Yeah, the sherry, I can't remember if it was the sherry wheated. Was the sherry one wheated or was the sherry the regular bourbon?
The sherry is the bourbon.
Yeah, so the regular sherry bourbon was my favorite of the three. I initially bought the ported pumpernickel rye because pumpernickel rye is my favorite that they made.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah.
That sherry, they had the sherry bourbon that's at 97 proof, but then they have a cast strength version at 116, and it blew my freaking mind, man. It's one of the best whiskeys I've had so far this year, by far. It was the first 9 I've reviewed in a very long time.
Yeah. So AW says, where else are you going to get an 8 to 9 year MGP nowadays? I mean, that's fine, but I could buy a blend of Wild Turkey 8 and 12 year in the blend with Rare Breed for $65.
Yep.
So yeah. I mean, I know it's not MGP, but why am I gonna pay for that when I could get a Wild Turkey with all those ages and older in it for half the price? So that's where I think.
Thank you, Mark.
That's where I think Ross and Rachel got a little bit. They went a little too far with the pricing and the age that's in the bottle.
Well, and I think to that point, that's where the knowledge of what it is you're buying and drinking comes into play, because when you understand what other people are buying and putting in a bottle, you can start to compare some of the values of things. So that just comes with understanding what it is.
It comes with the territory. And honestly, when you start looking across the market, everything has gone up nowadays. Yeah. I understand that the Remus was going to go up eventually, like everything else. But again, if you're going to go up in price, you have to offer a little bit more age on your whiskeys, because everything on the shelf, even, we're seeing Wilderness Trail, Woodinville, Penelope, everyone's catching up in age now to the bigger brands. So if you're going to upcharge for it, you have to put out a higher age, better product.
Yep. Very well said, man.
Yep.
Thomas says Rare Breed is 50 around me. I like turkey just as much as MGP.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Rare Breed for 50. That's a no-brainer. The Rare Breed. Actually, this Remus 6 reminded me a little bit of Wild Turkey, because it had like the cinnamon, the citrus, and like that bubbly, effervescent, almost like carbonated finish that you get with Wild Turkey sometimes.
Yeah,
like a Russell's Reserve pick. It reminded me of, but it was a little bit thinner. Like I probably would prefer drinking Rare Breed or a good Russell's pick over the Remus.
Yep.
Interesting.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do these giveaways here really quick.
Yeah, do it, man.
So Brett, I guess I'm not sure how many people entered. I guess it's maybe 52, 53 entries, I believe. 54. Hopefully Brett's still in the chat.
Yeah, he's here.
Okay, he's here. Yep, he says 1 through 55 randomized and ready. So one of you guys want to go ahead and pick a number?
Go ahead, Scotty.
I'll go with 13.
13. So this is for the sample pack of the Sagamore. So this is going to be the sample pack of the Sagamore. Number 13, who we got, Brett? And guys, if you win this, please email me at dustydansreviews@gmail.com. Dusty Dan's Reviews.
Also, if you don't know if you win, Scott will come to your house and make your bed for you.
Yeah, that's part of the concierge service. Just so you guys know that.
13 is Cam Lochner.
Jesus Christ, Cam won. Oh my God, we gotta verify that. Jesus.
Cam Lochner, congrats, man! You got the 4-pack of the Sagamore samples.
He's my 3rd or 4th favorite Cam.
Good job, Cam.
So I'm gonna do. So we'll do 2 samples of this 1970 Old Fitzgerald. It's in a Wild Turkey bottle, but it's a 1970 Old Fitzgerald produced at Stitzel-Weller. Fantastic pour here. This came out of a decanter. 86.8 proof.
What year was that again?
1970.
Oh Jesus!
Damn,
yeah,
dude.
1970 decanter.
Look how
That's
dark
old.
that shit is.
It is super. It's coffee dark. Yeah, very very dark. So Cam, if you want to go ahead and pick a number, what is it? 1 through what was it? 50.
1 through 55.
1 through 55, Cam. This will be for a 1 ounce pour of the Stitzelweller 1970 Old Fitzgerald.
Go get it, Cam. Go get it.
I got, like I said, I got some other Dusties too I can give away, so I don't mind giving stuff away, man. I have too much to drink over here.
Sure, Tim. I'll bring the old the bearskin rug with you.
Cam went with 27.
27.
Cam says 27.
What we got with 27? He said you should have picked 13. What we got for 27? And that's for the 4-pack. 27 is Top Dog.
Top Dog. All right, there you go. Good
Top
job.
Dog gets the
Top Dog, the man.
Not sure if he's. Oh, yeah. All right, still in the chat. Awesome. Top Dog, congrats on that. Again, just anybody who wins, just email me at dustydansreviews@gmail.com with your address.
Or I'll do sketchy shit at gmail.com.
That's true. Scotty will do sketchy shit. I've seen it.
yeah.
That's actually the address for Scott's OnlyFans page.
It's not that long. It's not that long.
You guys got pics of toes. Scott's got them.
Yeah, it's at I'm lonely. It's at I'm lonely at OnlyFans page.
So Top Dog, go ahead and pick a number 1 through 55. This will be for another sample of the 1970 Old Fitzgerald.
EJ says you spelled EJ wrong. Just saying.
And again, there is no lead in this. I've tested it already, so there is no lead in this. Nothing I've ever had that was decanted has ever had any traces of lead in it.
I've heard that it's very slim.
It's super rare, man. Yeah. So it's more on the outside of the paint than it is on the inside of the decanters.
Right. I mean, for that to leach all the way through and into that, I mean that's
no.
That'd be very tough.
FEO train.
I did just pick up some bottle and bond beam from a decanter that was, I think, 60. What was it? I can't remember the dates. I want to say it was like 63 or 64 to mid 70s, a 10-year bottled and bond beam. It says Top Dog pick 47.
47. Thomas says I'd still drink it. Yeah. Little lead won't hurt you.
No. In moderation, man. Moderation.
Exactly.
That's good stuff, though, man. That's probably, honestly, to be very honest, that's probably some of the best Stitzelweller product that I've tried.
That says a lot.
I've had a couple, but this is fantastic. I'll send you guys a sample of it too.
Get Strunk.
Nice. STRUNK.
I feel like that's a good handle. Get Strunk. It's like a drunk guy coming up with a name. Get Strunk.
All right, I'll do one more. Ounce sample of this one. Get Strunk. Go ahead and pick a number 1 through 55, and then we'll move on to the Kentucky Tavern.
You know, Get Strunk's got a little age to him when he says, "Oh snap."
He's in his 40s, I'd say. 40s.
At least. Oh, snap.
63 in the chat. Again, thank you guys for tuning into this. This is awesome. It was an awesome opportunity for me, but again, it's mostly in part to Jason and Scott. Well,
you got a great barrel, that's for sure.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean,
dude, I'm a little jealous of your barrel. It's kind of good.
I know it's a good one. I'm looking forward to getting one.
That is 9414, man. That is a fucking.
I want to do a blind between that and the 3 Sagamigos.
Man,
yeah, you should.
Yeah, I'll have to do that. That's for sure. Hey, I'm only 37.
All right, that's close enough. Close enough to 40. Adam Henson said he's 38.
I remember 38.
Actually,
is that like 30 years ago, Scotty?
No, that was actually only 12 years ago.
Okay.
Officially, depending on.
Winning for the next number, 38, is Colt 45.
Colt 45.
Man.
That's right.
You get a sample of the Stitzelweller.
I remember in school, man, we plowed through some Colt 45s. They were cheap.
Oh God. Oh God.
Got the job done, and
Scott had a T-shirt with Billy D. Williams on it.
No, I didn't have that, but it was either that or like Mickey's were super cheap at the time.
Yeah. What about Steel Reserve? Were they around then?
Ah, man, I don't remember Steel Reserve. The only thing I would say about like Mickey's back in the day, the annoying part was with that big old freaking mouth it had on it when you peeled the old top off, you shot half the goddamn beer all over yourself.
I'm not sure if Colt 45 is still in the chat. Congrats though, Colt 45. You get the Stitzelweller, the old Fitzgerald. We might have to get somebody else to pick another number. This is going to be for the Kentucky Tavern. 1 ounce of the Kentucky Tavern.
Oh, Patrick Q. So you got an old guy here. Clearly Billy beer. That's an old one right there. Only reason I know Billy beer is because I used to have a beer can collection a long time ago when I was younger.
Oh gosh, Brian says, who drank Moxie soda?
Never heard of it.
I never heard of that either.
We drank Zima.
Yeah, oh God, Zima. Didn't they make a coke?
The ladies always drink Zima. They put that fucking like that cherry shit in there too.
Zima made a comeback for a little bit.
Yeah. Top dog, the email is dustydansreviews@gmail.com. dustydansreviews@gmail.com.
Now Blind Squirrel's talking a little Boone's Farm. That was cheap shit.
Colt 45 is in here. Colt 45 picks number 45. 45, this is for the a sample of the Kentucky Tavern Captain's Court
Fresca.
If you guys want to get in touch with Dan, it's hamburger meat on my chest at onlyfans.com.
I saw my chest hairs.
Oh, that's gonna be a great sticker. It's gonna be like very much like a disco fever kind of. You can put Dan's head like put Dan's head like on John Travolta or something.
Yeah.
Oh God!
If you can't get him there, look at grizzlenips.com.
Grizzlenip.
Michelle Martin is the winner.
Yes.
Good. Congrats, Michelle.
Michelle Martin, congratulations on that. Get a pour of the Captain's Court Kentucky Tavern. That's a fantastic pour. I actually just cracked it the other night. Glenmore distilled, 90 proof, 8 years old. Fantastic stuff. It's got the built-in pourer to it too. Really good stuff.
Patrick, I'm old right there along with you, buddy.
So again, Michelle, shoot me over an email at dustydansreviews@gmail.com. If you can pick a number, again, we'll do 2 more samples of this. Any number between 1 and 55. I want to spread the love, man. I want to get some people to enjoy some of these dusty whiskeys while they're still around.
Barrel 94 is so fucking good.
It is so good, man. I had a little bit left in my glass and I went back and sampled it. It's absolutely delicious.
Dude.
The nice part is we got like a nice little hefty sample so you can still enjoy some.
Yeah, I'm gonna sneak this on the plane tomorrow. It's kind of cool.
Actually, there's no medal on that, but you'd still get flagged probably for having a 375 in your back pocket.
Good shit.
Michelle says he's going with number 29.
Are you heading off to Boston tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow morning. Got a nice early fucking 6 a.m. flight, dude.
Man, look at you getting up early.
Yeah, I hate it. I hate every second of it.
Rich said, Dan, you're the man. I try, man. I want to spread the whiskey love, the dusty love.
The dusty love.
The dusty love. Yeah, again, I mean, Dusties are for everybody. I had who did I send one to? I sent one to somebody a few months ago. I was like, "Why do you like these?" It's just different, man.
It's a whole different profile.
It's a very different profile. It's very different whiskey from what's made today. So, not everybody has to like it, but it's nice to be able to try something from a long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that you kind of whether you like it or not, you can still appreciate it.
Yep.
So.
Whiskey Food Dude. Whiskey Food Dude wins the Kentucky Tavern sample. Congrats on that. Not sure if he's still in the chat or not. I haven't seen him for a while.
Dude.
Get Strong says, Jason, I had that bottle heading your way Thursday. Someone going to be able to grab it for you?
I'll be back Thursday. So it's a really quick trip. I'm basically flying in. I'm flying tomorrow, Wednesday, and my flight back home is Thursday morning. So I'll be back.
Said you haven't had whiskey until you had Dusty Bourbon. I tell you, man, there's been some Dusty stuff that is at the top of my list that I've tried.
So we've officially have the, oh my God, I don't know.
Whiskey Food Dude is here. Congrats, Whiskey Food Dude.
Can you single me in on this one? Wait till you see it.
I don't know how to do that, but
just hover over me and click the single mode or whatever it says.
Yeah, click a solo layout.
Layout.
Click the 3 dots and hit solo layout on the bottom of the screen.
What 3 dots? I don't see any 3 dots.
On solo.
Oh, on Scott's?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
it says banned from studio, that one, right?
No. Jesus Christ.
No,
I see edit name, edit mic settings, kick from studio, banned from studio.
You moved around all those settings and stuff before. You moved us all around. You can select one of those things, right?
I don't know, man. I'm trying to select you right now, but
I don't know. Can you guys see that?
Yeah, I can see it.
Adam Hinson just sent me this.
Whoa.
All right, once you figure out how to use technology, you'll be able to.
I'm sorry, Scott. I'm a rookie at this, man. I don't know how to do this.
Anyway, that's okay. That's a little bit better. So apparently, Jesus, look at that. Yeah, everybody in the chat, you're welcome.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to burn that out of my head somehow.
That's great.
God.
Whoa,
Adam, you're the man. Jesus, that's pretty bad.
So I missed Whiskey Food number 23.
Drew Harris is asking, what's Dusty Bourbon? So in your professional opinion, Dusty Dan, since you are Dusty Dan, now that we're in the year 2022, what year going back? What's the cutoff for it being a Dusty Bourbon?
I mean, honestly, at this point, 80s is being brought up for Dusties.
Yeah, I would agree.
It's being in the 80s, you're still talking about something that's a very different profile from what's been made today. But when you go back even further to the 70s and the 60s, what's going?
You guys are like, I can't unsee that. And Mike says, gonna be tough to sleep tonight after that picture etched into my brain. Oh, Jesus, that's bad. Sorry. Continue to explain what it does.
It's just, it's older whiskey. It's it's not made the way it is today. They didn't have the technology back then. The water was different. The wood was different. The yeast was different. They didn't use a hybrid corn like they do now. They used either a yellow corn or a white corn. So there's a lot of different factors that go into to some old bourbon. And I've talked with Michael Veach about this before. Just where old whiskey gets its taste, and it's very hard. There's a lot of people who think it's always tasted like this, and there's a lot of people who think that it gains its taste from being bottled for so long. So it's up for discussion. But
I would probably even get it into the early 90s. I would give it a Dusty moniker, but really the best stuff for me has been in the late to mid 80s, honestly. I mean, anything before that obviously is a dusty, whether it be 70s, 60s, 50s, just past Prohibition, pre-Prohibition, all that stuff. But I mean, I'm talking about like the cutoff right where, bottles become a dusty.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Bourbon says Dusty Wood is different. It is, man. It is. It's very different.
Dusty,
different from everyone's.
Oh God.
Dan, what's the oldest open bottle you have? So I have an open bottle from. I have a couple pre-Prohibition bottles, but one of the oldest bottles that I have open is from pre-Prohibition. It was the Special Old Reserve. It was distilled in 1917 and bottled in 1933. That was one of the ones I cracked open on a live stream.
Dude, and that was one of the. I did not expect that to taste as good as it did.
No,
yeah, the fill level was right at the shoulder.
It was so good.
Yeah.
Dusty,
yeah, and again, you're talking, that was distilled pre-Prohibition, 1917, and then bottled in 33 after Prohibition ended. So, it's they put it in steel vats, from what I understand. But yeah, that's probably the oldest that I have open. Is still that Special Old Reserve. I don't have a ton of it left, very little bit, but yeah, that's probably the oldest that I have from 1917.
Dusty Wood. That's what my wife said the other night.
What I've lost what we're on right now. I don't know who. Whiskey Food Dude, did he ever pick a number?
Was he supposed to pick a number?
Yeah, Whiskey Food Dude. Yeah, it's one more number. He said number 23.
Oh.
What is this? He says, I've been dusting my bottles for years. Didn't know I was supposed to pop the cork first, make it dusty. Yeah, that's the oldest one that I have open. I still have some pre-Prohibition that I still have sealed up. And then I have some stuff from like the 30s and 40s. I really have it from every kind of time period, really.
When you think about that, we had 30s and 40s. How old that is, and like how much things have changed from the 30s and 40s to now. Like it's crazy to be able to try.
Not every dusty bourbon is good. I've had some fucking terrible.
Yeah, that's a fact, man.
There's some that will taste rancid.
Yeah, like people like stored it next to their heater in their basement or something. Like it was terrible.
Yeah.
So you are taking a gamble a little bit when you spend a lot of money on a dusty bourbon, but if you know who's selling it, and if you know where it was stored and where it came from, chances are you're going to be pretty damn pleased with that bourbon.
Yeah, that's a big thing too. That if you ever go down that dusty road, is just making sure that
and I'll say this about Dan. Not only does Dan have those bottles, but he shares it.
Right? Yeah.
Which is that's like another level of, it's like, here's some pre-Prohibition stuff. Why don't you try it? Not everybody does that. So that's why Scott and I really wanted to kind of like, let's get Dan a barrel pick. He deserves it. So,
I would say 99% or higher don't either open those bottles, and if they do, they sure as hell aren't sharing as many of these things as he's doing like tonight. that's just no one does any of that. So kudos to you.
Yeah, that's part of the whole experience, man. Is just to, for me, is just to share with people who may not have the opportunity to buy some of those bottles or come across some of those bottles. Just, and again, it's not for everybody. It's very different, a very different profile. But I enjoy sharing, as you guys know. I've been doing it for a very long time. So, but no,
well, it's always interesting to get other people's perspective on those things. And again, you don't have to like it, but you can try something that's literally history. It's something that you'll probably never get a chance to try, again, for the most part. So,
yeah, at some point, at some point, a lot of these bottles are going to be gone.
Yeah.
People still collect them. There is a couple pages that have on Facebook that are, on the secondary that are geared towards that. But I would tell you, if you ever are, in need of dusty bottles or searching for them, I would tell you always check estate sales. I think you'll be surprised at what you find. And then, just try to, partner up with local groups of people and see if they have dusty bottles, or partner with somebody who has some dusty bottles, and maybe they'll give you some tips on maybe how to find some. So
estate sales for sure. If you get any estate sales listed in your neighborhood and you go and there's no whiskey being sold,
right?
Ask the person at the house, hey, I'm not interested in this stuff. Do you happen to have any unopened or any bottles of whiskey in the house that you want to get rid of or anything like that? You may be surprised of what they pull out.
Right.
Exactly. I agree. I agree. Yeah, it's and again, people, there's a lot of people who ask me where I find some of these from, and I mean, there's estate sales all over the place, and you'll be very surprised as to what you'll find at some of these estate sales. I don't know if Bourbon is still in the chat, but he does. I mean, I know he's gone to a couple of estate sales and found some dusty stuff. So you will be surprised at what you find. But if anyone ever has any questions to validate whether it's real or if it's fake, always, you can feel free to shoot me an email. I have a couple sources that I can go to who can validate whether it's real or fake. Always looking for a couple things, tax strip, fill level, the date on the bottom of the glass of the bottle. I mean, there's a lot of things, the shape of the cork condition. There's a lot that kind of goes into it. So if anyone ever has any questions and they come across a dusty, please don't hesitate to email me. If I can't answer it, I do have a source that can. So with that said, I do want to thank everyone still in the chat for stopping here tonight for my first barrel pick. Scott, Jason, again, thank you both for being a part of this. This is awesome, especially for my first time being my very own barrel pick. I think we picked something pretty special for the people here. So what do you guys think?
Yeah, you got yourself a fucking barrel. That's a barrel right there.
Yeah, you do. You got a good one right there. That's for sure.
Yeah. So anybody who's on here from Sagamore, if there is anybody, big shout out to you guys for producing some high quality shit, man. So. With that said, thank you guys for tuning in to the channel tonight. And congrats to all the winners. Please make sure you email me, dustydansreviews@gmail.com with your address, and I will be in touch with you within the next couple of days. Scott, Jason, you guys want to go ahead and sign off anything? Where to find you guys? Your Mash and Journey Whiskey Club.
Yeah, I mean, if you can find me at the Mash and Drum, YouTube/ the Mash and Drum. You can go to Patreon, sign up in the Whiskey Club, and you get access to Scott and I's Mash and Journey Whiskey Club barrel picks. The top tiers are sold out right now. They're going to kind of stay that way for a little bit. We're not looking to expand the club really too much because we feel like everybody that's in the club right now is in it for all the right reasons. So, but as things go along, you never know. Slots do open up from time to time. So just keep an eye on them. But you can find us on Patreon and also on Instagram as well. So,
yep, same thing here. Yeah, YouTube channel, My Bourbon Journey. Same thing with Patreon. We're trying to with the club. We're trying to do as many great things, great community, great people, all of that. So we want to keep kind of bringing some great picks to everybody. So we appreciate everybody's support and thanks, guys.
Yep. Brett, thank you for being on tonight, Brett. Absolutely. Thank you.
Congrats to Dusty, man. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers,
thank
bud.
you.
Later.
Cheers, guys.